Another example, here's a totally cool, irresistible one. This is one of the great genetic stories. Okay, as you can see, or not, this pure white screen tells you that this is research that went on in Siberia. Okay, actually these were Siberia. Okay, so this was a famous study done by this Soviet geneticist starting, I don't know, about 50 years or so, where you have these Siberian silver foxes, and that's what they look like. And for all sorts of reasons, who knows what, it is highly valued to have clothing made out of their bodies, and thus highly valuable wild animals, tough to get. And this guy decided, well, what we need to do is start some Siberian silver fox domestication farming stuff. So he did a very logical thing. He started selectively breeding them for tameness. He would have a bunch of captive foxes that were wild-born, and most of them totally feral and crazed, and he would see, is there a subset, 5%, 10% of them, that I could get relatively closer to, that were calmer in the human's proximity, only let those ones breed. Now take their offspring and only take the 10% or so that are most calm, most easily tamed. And it took about 35 generations or so to get foxes that were as tame as dogs are. Something else totally amazing. So he's breeding them for only one trait, a behavioral trait, which is the ability to get close to them if you're a human, calmness on their part, whatever you might describe it as, breeding entirely based on that trait. And when you spend 35 generations breeding a wild animal like a fox so that it's the ones who are most able to function in the role of domesticated animals, it's not just the behavior that changes. This is what the adults look like 35 generations later. Oh, give me one, give me 100, I want, yes, give me, they're adorable. Can you believe how great they look? What's going on here? They were selecting for a behavioral trait, and they are fox puppies. They've got big roundy ears and these cute little short muzzle things, and they wag their tails when humans show up. And these are not dog descent into wolves. This was 35 generations to turn something on the left into something looking at the right. Very interesting thing we will come to in the ethology lectures. Basically, what you're breeding for when you're breeding a wild animal to be tameable, you're breeding for the ones that behave more childishly, the ones who are acting more like developing animals who are more dependent on other individuals. You're breeding them for infantile traits. This is what a baby fox looks like. This is what these domesticated adult foxes look like. Totally amazing that this happened. Ironic ending department, you will notice that the coat has changed from the ones on the left to these wonderful coats that you just want to have made into underwear and hats and all of that sort of thing. And on the right, they look like, you know, Spot and Rover and all those guys. There, it is called a piebald coloration pattern. Somehow also, you can't get the domestication without that happening. Ironic ending, nobody wants to wear clothes that look like that. They would have been killing Dalmatians for years if that were desirable. In the process of breeding them, they became useless economically. Nonetheless, totally amazing demonstration. 35 generations, and you turn something on the left into something looking like that on the right, who will wag its tail at you and lick your face and bring your chewed up slippers back to you. This is very rapid change.